called Travel Soccer Conundrum. Charles Bohem says, competitive youth sports has become a big business, very big. In recent years, this has grown into a multi-billion-dollar industry, with soccer at the forefront. Current estimates of the economy range from $20 to $40 billion per year. This is why the pay-to-play, this is me speaking now, this is why the pay-to-play system will never go away, ever. And that's why it's spreading to basketball. Baseball has been this way. It's spreading to all the sports. Follow the money. Follow the money. Money corrupts all. That's why I'd rather be broke. United States alone, and one projection forecast, it will swell to nearly $80 billion by the time the World Cup returns in 2026. Wow, I need to get involved in that. Most American soccer families are all too familiar with the trappings of this world. The tryouts, the pressure, the huge time commitment, the word cloud of adjectives that go along with this: travel, select, elite, premier, and most of all, the cost. Oh, the cost. Yes, the costs are ridiculous. We have a real problem. We've had it for years, and I think we're slowly trying to address it as far as what we're dealing with and what we can deal with. Pay to play will never go away. Here's my thoughts on this. Pay to play will never go away. Let it be. It's okay to pay to be part of something. If you can afford a big house and you buy a big house, more power to you. I would. I was running down in by the Squaw Peak Mountain in these beautiful homes. Oh my word! In between two mountains, they got the sun just not. In Arizona, it's a big deal. They have sun coverage from, the only time they have the sun is between hours of probably 11 to like 2, and the mountains are covering everything else. It's so beautiful, and it's green. I saw this place. I was running. I'd never seen anything like it before. I'm like, I need to make money. I need to make money on this podcast somehow by selling 50,000 T-shirts and mugs, and wouldn't be enough money to buy these houses. But if I could afford it, I'd move there, and no problem with that. So if you choose a soccer club to play for because you want to pay for it because they travel and all that stuff, awesome, more power to you. Do it. Do it. I think it's a worthy cause to make money and buy things that you want for your children. But it's not going to solve our soccer problem in the United States. It's never going to be solved if we don't have players in this country playing on the streets, loving the game in a different way, and develop that, and get coaches to develop that talent by managing it versus coaching it. You don't need to coach the people of culture. We do have culture in this country, ton of it. They play. The problem is they hit a ceiling about when they get in high school. They're not allowed to play anymore because they're repeatedly told you're not sophisticated enough because you don't have a licensed coach telling you how to play the game. Don't have it. So, they quit. So that's a problem. But what's a bigger problem is this whole thing with MLS and this COVID-19 and the part of their development. They're saying you have to travel all these places and play specific people versus let's get back to normal. Since COVID-19 destroyed us all, let's do it this way. Let's get back to the old days. One state champion playing your leagues, whatever, must play each other. Everyone has a play in state cup if you're willing to compete that way. And one state champion goes to regionals. And then one regional champion from your region will play in one of 4 regions. And you have one national title. That is it. That's the safest way for us to travel, especially the economy is still being destroyed. It is a problem. This issue gets to the heart of why USYS and the MLS have joined forces, announcing earlier this month a partnership that seeks to address player identification, development, coaching education, and a range of other issues on the grassroots level. With 55 state associations and some 3 million registered players and hundreds of thousands of volunteer coaches and administrators, the USYS is the largest organization in North America and most likely the world as well, and others unmatched reach coast to coast. And we can't figure it out. We brag about this and we can't figure it out. And we could. It's not. I'll give you an example. So my 2002 girls, I was coaching my daughter's team, and it's part of the Arizona Storm, and ACFC, and my daughter's team, we had maybe 7-8 players, and I told the parent, they're like concerned, I'm about to go on vacation to Seattle, and where I go every year for like 3 weeks in the summer, right before we start our official season August 1st. We did our tryouts. I actually cut a family. I cut a family because they were a pain in the butt. Just, I was like, what tournaments can we do? When, and they're just annoying. Anyways, we became friendly later. Anyways, long story short, I cut one. They're like, hey, you keep cutting players. I'm like, you want the right ones. I think we only had 8 or 9 at the time, but we're only playing, I think, 8 on 8. So we had one sub. I'm like, don't worry. I got approval from the board. We're going to go to the Hispanic leagues, and we're going to get 4 or 5 players. We're going to be fine. And this is a girls' team, by the way. And I come back home from vacation, and they all left to Banat, Arsenal. And they all took off over there, which was one of the best things ever to happen. And it was just my daughter and the manager's daughter. So it was just us two. So we went to the Hispanic league, and my manager, assistant coach of mine spoke Spanish. And we went to all the boys' league, or a boys' league, and went to all the boys' teams that had girls playing on it. And we grabbed 7 girls that played, and they were amazing. And then one thing about the Hispanic leagues out here in Arizona, so the rules are you can have girls on your team, and they can be a year older. So, we were a U10 team at the time, so we were at the U11 boys games. We're at the U9 boys games because they were 10-year-olds on there. Anyways, long story short, picked them up, put the team together, and they were Hispanics. Oh my gosh, they're just amazing. I mean, there was this one girl, her name was Anai, and she would meg kids on purpose at 10. Did you hear what I just said? She would put the ball through players' legs on purpose because she grew up in the culture. She understood it, and it was amazing. She's a tiny thing too. Anyways, so we created that team, and then because we were a new team, because we didn't have enough players initially, they put us in the lowest league, the way AYSA does things back in the day. The lowest league ever, and so we're in like flight 8 or whatever. We're just murdering people. And I'm against, running up the score, but I want to stick it to the state as well. So we ran it up, and then the state only moves us up a couple of flights because the way the rules they had. I'm like, that's so stupid. They said promotion relegation earlier, so we're not making poor girls quit soccer for life with the talent I had on the field. Anyways, we finally, by the 3rd season, we got to play that team where all the girls left, and it was hilarious. So we showed up, and they had, a really good coach, and they're organized. They had a warm-up. They had the cone set up everywhere. Me and the manager were there early, and we didn't have anyone to warm up with. And finally, a carload of our girls came, 2 carloads, and the rest of our team finally showed up. And we actually played short after the kickoff. And they knew how important this game was to me, and all that. But it's just, it was typical Hispanic. They're going to be late, and they have a lot of stuff going on, and they're just a soccer game to them. It wasn't important like it was to us because we had different agenda. We're down 1-0. And, the other side erupted. Look, we made the right decision. And we were just sitting there waiting. And then we finally got enough players to play. And we ended up winning 11-1. It was fantastic. Culture won, not coaching. Culture won. I don't know if that made sense. But, that's what we should do. We need to recruit the cultured kids. Actually love the game, play the game, live the game. Take all of them and create national